Welcome back to the Nose Plays. We're going to continue our game of Endless Legend with the Endless Legend community patch engaged, and we are playing with the Wild Walkers. I've taken a little bit of time to look over where we were. It's been a week. It's Tuesday morning, got some hot tea, and we're ready to go. So a couple things that I've noticed. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to a viewer by the name of Michael. He's a longtime viewer of SB's channel. He's come over to my channel and given some advice, and we've had a couple of conversations in the comment sections on some mechanics within the game and some things that maybe I can improve on. So I'm gonna kind of take a little bit of his advice today. One of the things that he suggests is not building burrows quite as quickly as I've been doing it, and instead rush more settlers and get your cities down a little faster. I think that's actually pretty good advice. There's a long time ago when I first started playing this game and I first figured out the empire mechanic that I developed the reasoning that it was always best to wait till turn 20 to drop your first settler and get a cheaper empire plan and pop all your boosters on that same turn for efficiency's sake. And I think in some circumstances that may still be the correct play, but I'm leaning further and further from that position. Unfortunately, old habits do die hard, and I most definitely did that in this gameplay. I did some research a while ago. I had a conversation with another Let's Player, 4X Alchemist, in their Endless Space 2 series, and we were talking about whether delaying your settle with the Vultures faction would penalize you significantly. There were some interesting mechanics there. Go check out that video if you want to know more about it, but basically the answer was it's always best to pretty much settle right away. The faster you get your city down, the more advanced it is earlier into the game, and the better off you're going to be in the long run. Now, there are some mechanics that make that a little bit difficult. You don't want to just settle out of control because there are some limits to that with the approval systems in both of these games. But generally speaking, you want to settle as quickly as you're reasonably able to settle, as long as your approval situation warrants it. I think in my next playthrough I'm going to try rushing a settler a little quicker and see how that goes. I'm not completely convinced on his reasoning behind delaying borough districts, but I get where he's coming from, and I do agree that sometimes I probably get a little too carried away with building population and building borough districts. But I have seen the glories of a very large and very effective city, and so it's always in the back of my head that the sooner I can get to that point in the game, the better off I'm going to be. I'm going to kind of explain my reasoning with this city and why we're expanding the way that we are. So you can see I already have 3 districts. I have my city center right here. I have expanded my first borough here. I've grabbed the altar of Araga here, and I'm currently constructing a new borough which will be completed in 4 turns right here, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this is going to set up a couple of things for me. I am in the process of building what I call the Triangle City, and the Triangle City is one of the most efficient cities in the game. If you don't want to do a ton of expansion, a ton of city building, I would highly recommend that you learn the 2 major city types and just go with one of those 2. The 2 major layouts for really, really good cities are triangles and sticks, and we'll talk about the triangle here. So the triangle does a couple of things. Number one, we're going to make a triangle that takes these 6 tiles. Okay, you can kind of see them. In fact, I'm going to outline them a little bit better. So we're going to grab these 6 tiles right here. What that's going to do is these ones on the points, these ones will be level 1 districts. They will provide a -10 penalty to approval for each one, with an exception. This one is our city center, And so because it's our city center, we start with the city hall, and your first tile, your city center tile, does not have the -10 penalties that the borough districts do. So if I mouse over this tile here, you can see there is no -10 approval penalty. However, this was a borough district, -10 approval penalty. This will be a borough district, -10 approval penalty. And this one is actually one of the wonders or special boroughs. It's not really a wonder, but you can only build one of them, so it's kind of like a wonder. And it does not have an approval penalty. It also has some cool bonuses if you level it up, which we're going to do. So that's the layout I'm shooting for. Now here's what I'm going to do. When you build the triangle, the 3 points give you the -10 with the exception of your city center. So I'm only going to be at -20 approval when this city is built from borough districts. But I'm also going to level up all of these 3 inner tiles to level 2 districts. That means that this will no longer be giving me -10, but actually +15. So it's a 5-point positive swing in the end. So this will be +15. This one will be leveled up, so it will actually be +10 total. And this one will also be leveled up. And what I'm planning on building here is the industrial megapole. So the industrial megapole is going to go here, and this is another reason why I focus so much on food in this early game. I'm trying to get a massive amount of population over here so that we can throw it all into industry when we start building the industrial megapole. I actually have the ability to go ahead and queue this up, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Now, if I had thought a little bit harder about this, what I should have done, instead of grabbing this borough district, I should have grabbed this borough district first and then finished that one last. The reason I should have grabbed this one first is because as soon as I get my industrial megapole down, after this one's completed, I would have already had this leveled up to level 2. The turn it comes down, it would have been level 2. And if you look at this, that's going to be +50 industry when it gets built. So it's +25 per level on the industrial megapole. Also -20% district cost on Empire. So that's pretty cool. We definitely want to get this built, and I am going to potentially move it ahead of this Minotaur, although we do need him for a quest. So what I might do instead is in 2 turns we're going to get a population pip, and I'm going to start moving some of these over here until we go to 3. Okay, so I need at least 1, 2, okay. So in 2 turns we're going to effectively get another population pip, and then we'll move all of them over here. That's shaved a couple turns off of all of these things, as you can see, and we'll go from there. So that was my thinking when I was building the city. I may not have voiced that out quite the way that I do in my head. This city, I went ahead and I swapped in a settler. I know we were building a ranger just to have a couple of units, spare units around here, and start maybe considering a secondary army. We were kind of running out of things to build, and this city, because of the terrain, is going to be limited in size. I was originally thinking of building the stick here, and I'm kind of reconsidering that, but we'll talk a little bit more about that at another point in the game. I think we've spent enough time talking about that. But I am going to go ahead and rush this settler. I don't want to rush him too quickly. I could put all of the population pips on industry and get it done in 3 turns. I'm not in that big of a hurry to get him out, especially with not having any other technology. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put them on dust, which is going to fix our dust income problems that we're having. We are running the Empire plan that gives us the extra +3 for the next 17 turns or so. So this will help bolster our income and hopefully help us grab a hero to throw down in this city that might help the construction of that wonder, and also grant them all the experience once it gets built. So that's where my thinking is in the near future with that. Um, Another thing to keep in mind as we begin the game is we are very close to winter. I can hear the winter winds. We have one winter already behind us, but this one will be a little bit different. And it looks like glass, steel, and titanium items are going to cost more. Support units do less damage. Flying units do more damage. This doesn't really affect us all that much. But what may affect us is this building, which is something that I'm interested in maybe grabbing. The Chapel of Ariga is going to be good for us if we can manage to grab a couple of things. So we have 1, 2, 3 villages in that region, 2 villages in that region, only 1 in this region. I'm highly interested in this region. There's 3 anomalies with approval bonuses over here. So this is where we're going to send that settler, if possible. That will basically guarantee us this territory later in the game. And then we have a quest over here to pacify these haunts, but it kind of pushes us in contact with a lot of other empires, and I'm not so keen on that. So I may not take this right away. This region is also a lava region, not super exciting for me. I'm not crazy about the new lava regions unless you're playing with Kapaku. They do have benefits, but we'll see. We are going to probably start a war here, although I doubt we'll get underway this episode. But the plan is to start a war with purple and kind of sweep this direction to the north and take enough territory between what we reserved here and up north in purple's area to possibly win the game. So let's go ahead and get started. I know that was a long intro, but I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover. So let's get this underway. And winter is already here. But you can see we got a lot of pearls over here. Okay. They would like to offer us peace. I thought we already did this. I'm a little confused here. I'm going to counter proposal just to see. Okay. So they want diplomats maints or titanium. They're not offering me peace. We already have the peace. They want this technology for titanium. I would like a map exchange. And I don't really need your titanium. So can we get behind that? Yes, they like that. We could also add a commercial agreement, although I don't know that we have any trade with these guys yet. They are the orange player. They don't want to give us any technology. They don't have any stockpiles. But they would give us a bunch of pearls. We're going to have a bunch of pearls already, but if we're planning on building a bunch of pearl districts or pearl buildings, maybe we do want to take a bunch of pearls. Alright, give me all your pearls and a map exchange, and we will give you diplomats mates. I think that is an acceptable offer. And now we have an ally. They are a trusting ally at that. We can see that they are also at Cold War with purple. So if we could get them to go to war with purple, that might be really beneficial for us too. And it would be a new mechanic for me. I haven't been able to see much in the way of positive interactions with other empires. So we got a little bit of vision here. We can see the blue empire over here. The Pink Empire's already expanded to 3 territories. Orange is still on 2. Purple is expanded to 3 territories. And Red has 2 territories, but we've only got vision on 1 of them. We can ID these guys real quickly. So this is the roving clans. We know that these are the Ardent Mages. We know that these are the Draken. This looks like Broken Lords. And down here we have the Forgotten. I'm glad we're far away from those guys. I'm not a big fan of playing neighbors with the Forgotten. Broken Lords are very expansionist. They could be a problem if they get out of control. We will definitely want to consider coming to the aid of these guys if that happens. I don't like it when these guys wipe out another empire very quickly. They can kind of snowball out of control. But we're right on pace with the rest of the players at the moment. So I'm enjoying the position that we're in. I'm trying to remember what I was doing with this army other than searching. We got a couple of things we need to take care of here. One of which is clearing this area so that it's safe for us to enter it. So let's go ahead and get that done. And I'm out of movement for the moment. I can't remember if we've parlayed with this faction yet, but we definitely want to try to appease them so that as soon as we lay down our city in this territory, we're going to get the 3 villages. That would be well worth our time. Meritocratic promotion is up in 2 turns. It's going to be more than 2 turns, but not many more before we can actually use this Minotaur. So I'm okay with leaving it. This added another turn because of winter. I don't know if I can take it off by adding a bunch of these guys over here again. I can if I take all of them. Okay. We'll go down to 1. And actually I could buy this out, but I am trying to save up money. It's a good thing we moved all those workers over to Dust because the winter took about 30% of our income. So I'm feeling okay about that at the moment. This city's just working along on this. This might actually be where we spend some of this dust. Okay. We'll go ahead and move a bunch of people over here through the winter. I'm going to leave 1 population pip over here for food just to get this accelerated a little bit, but that's going to help get that city online. There's a lot of roving armies down here. I think most of these are just ones that spawned from these villages that we're going to have to deal with. And rumblers are incredibly dangerous. I don't want to take on rumblers until we have a little bit stronger army. Alright, let's see if we can't parlay with these guys. For 5 turns, ensure that you have a unit of at least 4 of the existing unit class in your Empire garrisons. Well, currently we only have 2, so that is not going to be a quest we can complete anytime soon. I'm wondering if it's worth deviating any of our technology to make that happen, and I'm basically going to say no. Which means we're going to be doing a lot of fighting, unfortunately. going to go ahead and get a bunch of these out of the way. We're going to use our militia in this fight, so again, I don't think we need to watch this one. And I want to grab those pearls, but I think what I'm going to do instead is head this way, and we will grab those pearls with this unit and this unit in just a few turns. Okay, this is completed now, so we're going to move all these guys back over here. That's going to drop that down to 2 turns. Food is running negative here. I'm thinking I should probably do that at least. No, I don't want to do that while we're building a settler. So we're not going to deplete this entire bar. If we were to run negative long enough, this bar would deplete, and if it reaches 0, then we lose the population. So that's important. We failed a quest. We know which one that is. And that was our units that leveled up. Okay. No important messages there. We are slowly falling behind everyone else, which is unfortunate, but I don't think that's a real metric of where we are in the game. I feel like we're in a pretty good position. Meritocratic promotion has been achieved. What is important? I think if we're going to be doing a lot of diplomatic, and SB kind of emphasized this in one of his recent playthroughs, Glory of the Empire is a really good building if you get it early. +5 on the city is more than double what your base rate for a city that just starts is. Extra per person allows you to, at the end of your 20 turn empire plan, kind of pivot a bunch of people over to influence if you just need a little bit more to get an empire plan that's important to you. So this is a really good building, having all of your cities really, if you can afford it. It does have a little bit of a dust upkeep, but dust becomes easier and easier to collect over time, especially as you get bigger cities, more cities, boroughs, the dust buildings. This is something else that's going to be really important for us. +25 on city, 10% of approval. I am, on the other hand, leaning towards something I don't normally get this early, and that is a minor faction assimilation. We already have these guys assimilated, and one thing I could do is unassimilate these guys and assimilate this group, and that might be what I end up doing instead. I really want to get these guys assimilated. These guys will provide a 15% cost reduction because we have 3 villages on all of our empire, as long as they're assimilated. It will also provide us another unit type. That would be 3, and we would only need 1 more unit type. So maybe that is a reasonable quest, but I kind of already pooched that by attacking that village, so we're not going to go that route. Maybe we will skip the native district, and I will just assimilate. Oh, that kind of goofed up this, didn't it? I should have waited 1 turn. Alright. Well, how am I going to go about this now? Alright, we're going to grab native district. That's going to take 6 turns. I'm going to waste a little bit of influence and go back to this. I could just replay the turn, but it was only a 30 influence mistake. We will grab native district. That will give us the opportunity to get this guy built. Once he's built, we'll get this other group and get going on that. This is only going to take 12 turns. We are very close to being able to afford a hero. Let's check the hero cost. We're at 400, almost 500 by the time we get a chance to buy one. I was hoping to see where C go, but I do not see him. We do have this guy. He's mostly a military leader. I don't see the hero I was really interested in. I'm mainly looking for a hero that's going to give us an industry boost, which is basically one of the Wild Walker heroes. There's a couple of them. I don't think anybody else gives industry. Maybe the Necrophage heroes do. Dust efficiency. This guy's actually pretty decent usually. He's the military version. Yeah, I'm not liking these heroes all that much. What was that one? Army health boost 2. Lots of good military heroes, but dust efficiency 2. That's one of the ones that I like. This guy could help our dust situation, so he might be the one that we eyeball. She's got dust efficiency 1. And he's got dust boost 1. Okay, so dust efficiency basically increases the dust collection per population pip. This will be 2 extra dust per population pip that we have working dust. I think that might be the one we end up taking. But I'll look at this again when we get to the point in the game where we're ready to do that. I'm kicking myself for goofing up with my influence there. That's gonna suck come our Empire plan. I think it's time to go ahead and move forward. I forgot to move this guy. We can parlay again. Bestow 10 gold and 10 blood crystals. Well, as you can see, we do not have either of those. And we are running a booster currently to keep our approval as high as it is. So, I'm actually going to switch the order of these two things. We are going to want both of them. But now that I have my units completed, I can go ahead and equip them with tier 2 gear. And if we're fighting Ardent Mages, I'm not sure if Range Slayer or Cavalry Slayer is going to be better. They don't typically have cavalry. They do have some ranged units. Most of their base units are infantry units, though. Alright, we'll go ahead and throw the axes on for now. I don't need either of these at the moment. And let's see if I can retrofit these guys. That's pretty pricey. I think we want to go ahead and do it, though. And now that I have this army, I can't retrofit these guys once I switch them out. But we can still use them. So they basically work just like a mercenary army at this point. Alright, we wanted to grab these pearls that were up here. Yeah, there we go. There's 2 sets of pearls. Grab that one, grab that one. And we're going to head over this way next turn. These guys are not going to complete that quest, so we're going to just go ahead and attack them and finish them off. Looks like blue is the Alayi. Right? That's a Skyfin. I must have miscalculated when I said they were the Forgotten. Alright, and then we'll move up towards this other village. We should be able to regroup these armies up over here. We've taken some turns off of this. We're all the way down to 10 turns now. So this will be a pretty reasonable turn 58, maybe a little sooner. For the Megapole, that's not terrible. I've seen it done faster. And there is a possibility that we get outplayed for it, but we are ranked 4 of 6. That is not good. I don't think we're going to get this Megapole done now. If we're ranked 4 of 6 with 10 turns to play, we may not be able to outpace everybody else. Huh, that's a real shame. What can I do to accelerate this, if anything? There is not much. All I can do is try to get enough dust to buy off a turn, but even a single turn on this is like super expensive, so well, we'll just have to see what happens. I may have waited a little bit too long. Move this guy to that tile, these guys to that tile. Let's try a parlay one more time. Oh, we can definitely do that. We don't need to wipe you guys out. We'll get at least one of them. There is a... I think that's the Skyfin. Alright, we have this quest that we need to complete, so let's head down that way. Inspect the ruin that is way over here somewhere. Okay, we might be able to actually grab that. I can send this Drakari Ranger out that way. We might better go around this way, actually. Hopefully the winter time ends here pretty quickly. Get our movement speed back. That's pretty much just a free quest. We'll have this settler that can start heading over here next turn. And we do want to come down here and start clearing out rumblers now that we have an army of 6. I also want to make sure that I've upgraded all of the military units once we get back in our territory to tier 2 equipment. Fairly sure we did that. Last game. I could go grab those pearls, but I think we're just going to head right to here. And let's check these. Tier 2 everything? Yes. Okay. Construction complete. New army. And start sending him over this way. It's going to take 5 turns or so to get where I want to go. I may actually build here so we have a coastal tile. Another thing about this particular tile that's interesting to me is that we can build a cargo dock on it, and because these 2 tiles are open for burrows, we can actually level up the cargo dock, which is pretty powerful. It's kind of a rare tile because a lot of times you'll get a village or a ruin on one of these, and that blocks you from building a district, which prevents you from leveling up your cargo dock. Yeah, we're still 4. I don't think we're going to make it. We're going to waste a lot of time, but I think it's still worth trying. We do have a higher rate of history than a lot of people should at this point in the game. But perhaps my mistakes are accumulating and we are going to miss it. Because we can't say I haven't made mistakes this game. This city's coming along nicely now. Public library will help research. We should probably leave that over there. I don't want that new population pip immediately getting knocked off. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go all the way over here anyways, or all the way around that way. So this is what's nice about having vision of all these units. We can kind of see where we might go. I was thinking of going around this way, but that doesn't look the safest way at the moment. I'm not so sure that this is any safer though. I think that's what we're going to do, is try to sneak around this way. If we lose that unit, it's not that big a deal. He is mainly just a scout. Completing that quest actually leads to some decent rewards if you can complete the whole quest line. Alright, so we were heading to here. And we should be able to complete this quest. Search the unspoiled ruins. We got 15 more wine. Make sure there are no enemies in the region Awanis in 5 turns. We can do that, and we can hopefully pop some more wine. I'm gonna wait till right before I drop that city, but that will be really beneficial for us. Keep our approval in check for another 10 turns or so, and that will give us a chance to maybe get these central markets up. Alright, so our army's going to have to kind of hang around here for just a few minutes. I can't remember if this quest actually spawns an enemy. I think it does. We'll have to kind of watch and see that our settler doesn't get attacked. I think lust for loot is not going to happen. That's kind of where we were heading before, I think, and I got distracted in the previous game. We were thinking about heading that direction. I can go ahead and use my pearls to grab some of these other buildings or things at this point. I think that this one might be worthwhile, but I was thinking we had more 3 village tiles, and perhaps that was a different game, because I only have 1 currently. This would be 2 once we rebuild these. So that might not be as priority as I was thinking it would be. This could also really help. An extra 10% science on all of our cities wouldn't be a bad thing. Our science is pretty low right now, so that's not a ton, but at least it would be something, and we don't really have the resources to be building any other science technology at the moment. We are working on a wine extractor and a titanium extractor, but we have a stockpile of titanium, so not super concerned about that yet. Not this turn. Yep, there's the army that we need to get rid of. We're going to retreat from that battle. Alright, so should be able to get to here and attack these guys. Get to one of these 2 tiles. Once I get into their territory, I can use the settle ability to see kind of which one might be best. So that's 18, 15, 15, 3, or 19, 12, 15, 4. 17, 16, 15, 4. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to take an extra turn to move to that tile. I think that's the one. So we'll just queue that move up next turn. These guys should probably kind of start drifting this direction because it looks like we have some armies over here. We should take a look at what they're running. So they're running infantry units with a cavalry minor faction. The cavalry minor faction does have range slayer, which is unfortunate for us. These units have cavalry slayer, which is just happens to be the perfect combination of what they need to defeat our armies. That doesn't look good. Alright, get rid of that. Battle's finished. They're basically giving us the whole cold shoulder. Probably trying to reduce the cost of a war. So basically they gave us a warning. That means that within the next 5 turns we can expect to receive a declaration of war. Let's talk to our ally. What would it cost? They actually like this. This is going to improve our relationship with them in the long term. So I'm going to ask them to declare war on purple. And they will. And maybe that will kind of get their attention. We have not declared war on them officially ourselves. But I'm sure that's coming. Alright, we are going to do that, just not this turn. Next turn. This unit is now free to move. I'm a little worried about where... It looks like they've both wandered off, so... Unfortunately, with this ridge here, maybe we could go around this way. Okay, we should be able to get over there and search that. I'll need to remember to mash the move key. And let's go ahead and queue these guys' movement up. I don't want to leave this region necessarily, just in case another army spawns, which I don't think happens. I think you only get one. But we can at least get to the edge of it. Get all of our armies moving. Oh my. Okay, well this is not what I was expecting. We will look at this in a minute. So let me check something real quick. Okay. So by... haha, I goofed. I did it backwards, didn't I? I declared war on purple instead of asking these guys to declare war on purple. Yep, that was a big mistake on my part. Alright, so let's go over what I did here in just a second. Okay, Ursa's leader is absent. Hero must care for Igor. well, we're probably not going to be able to build anything, but I'll go ahead and get started on a rumbler at this point. So he has a massive army. And we have an army, but that is a lot of units. That feels really dirty. Okay, so let's talk about what I did wrong. In the negotiation menu, I clicked over here on Declare War On and pick somebody. What I should have done is clicked over here on Declare War, and they are not excited about that at all, which is what I expected to see. The fact that it was green, I was a little confused, but I should have paid a little more attention as to why they were so happy about that. So yeah, this is a problem now. This is a big problem. We should not have declared war on these guys. This is probably going to cost us the game. I might have had enough time to mass enough of an army. Probably not in the 5 turns, but we'll see. We are 5 turns away from Megapole, and we are... Still 4. Still 4 of 6. So basically what I'm saying is my mistakes have probably cost me this game. If we are not able to take this city back after we lose it, and we fail to get the Megapole, we're probably going to call this one and replay it. And I might even replay... I don't think I saved turn 1. So I won't be able to replay this exact game again. But maybe we'll replay a similar game and try to rush cities instead of boroughs in this next playthrough. I have a feeling that I know exactly how this is going to go about, so again, I'm not going to bother fighting it. We didn't even get a single casualty. That is a little bit ridiculous, but we didn't have really enough units to do much. So that city's been captured, and now we know why they've been taunting us. We could march over there and take it back next turn, but I don't know that our army is strong enough to do that. They don't have any ranged units. They do have cavalry units, but I did not know that when we set these up for ranged. I believe their tier 2 unit is a ranged unit. Maybe it's a flying unit. One of their units is definitely a ranged unit. Alright, well, this might be a short-lived game. We do have this, so we're going to go ahead and pop our booster, which just happened to run out recently, and we'll go ahead and lay down the city. Go ahead and queue up the most important buildings. Lots of... Not really concerned with getting these things actually built. Just want them in the queue so I don't forget to do it later. We'll probably mess with the order of that quite a bit. We can move that to there. Dust is in a very bad spot. This is gonna kill us. We're not making any ground on these guys at all. Quest update. Maintain a minimum of 3 influence in the new city for 5 turns to get exotic alloys. Well, we'll try. I could go ahead and buy this out. We'll buy that out. That'll fix our dust problem. Alright. Let's see what happens here. We have central markets. Not that that's going to do us a lot of good at the moment. So 54, we were 4 turns away? We were going to finish it on turn 58, maybe 57. That is really unfortunate for us. Somebody's already reached era 4. I'm trying to remember. We are only playing on serious difficulty. I was going to say, this isn't even on endless difficulty, and they're moving that far ahead of me that quickly. So, a mega pull before turn 60 is pretty common. 54 feels about as fast as I can really do it. I might have been able to hit 54 if I had really focused on it, but that's pretty quick. This is pretty difficult. It's definitely feeling way more difficult than the normal serious gameplay. The AI is playing way better. That army that they managed to mass, we'll see. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do much. So this army is injured. The problem is, if we attack them, they're going to get a lot of reinforcements. The problem is, I don't have a way of really building. I mean, I can start building another army here. This city can kind of start building another army, but you can see we're not going to be building it very fast, especially if we have to put everybody on dust. So I think we're going to just continue the construction of these basic buildings. And then this city obviously can't do jack. For some reason, I thought getting our empirement would help, but it's actually only 5 dust. I thought it was 10. So it definitely helped, but it didn't help. We are fervent in that city. How close are we? It says we're at happy, even though it's showing that we're below happy. So I'm wondering if that is not actually the case. Maybe that's why our dust is so bad at the moment. How many turns? Wait a second. Why is it showing our city as being besieged here? Oh, because it is being besieged by another army. So I was wrong. There are more than... more than one for that quest. There we go. Now our dust looks better. Well, I can get another stack of 4 in as few as 6 turns. Is that going to be enough? I mean, I could do 2 of them in 4 turns. I need a couple turns to let this army heal anyways. Is 2 enough? I buy one of these out, we build 2. Maybe queue up some rumblers. Maybe buy out a rumbler. Queue these up and get him built and added to that army. Alright, let's do something like this. We'll try to send 6 units, 9 units total over there and retake our city. Native district is no longer a priority. We'll probably still build it, but another battle. Okay, we'll figure out where that's coming from. What tech do we want? Military science, maybe? No. I think construction of an army is really what's important. We do have titanium, so getting one of these is important. Let's grab that one for now. Where are we being attacked this time? Which city? Battle is being started. Oh. Yes, our lone wolf. We don't have enough health to retreat, I don't think. Nope. You valiantly served your purpose. Unfortunately, the Igor's gift quest is not something we're going to be able to tackle right away. I do want to move this army over here, I think. Can keep an eye on their forces. We're 3 turns away from another Drakari, and I might be able to get him in some better gear. Yes, we can retrofit it. Okay. That didn't actually cost that much at all. The one other thing we could consider doing, show obsolete. Where's it at? This trinket here is relatively cheap, but what it does is it improves battle movement by 1, which is really important for these guys because their battle movement is garbage if I'm not mistaken. And that'll give us a little bit more. Yeah, only 30 dust for that. Not bad. Okay. We got 3 turns until we get this other set of Drakari Rangers. Alright, they're moving south. Which means they're probably coming down to attack this city. Alright, we may have lucked out here. He's separated his forces. I might be able to sneak in here and snipe this. It'll still grab the garrison and that other unit. If we do it from this tile, I think it'll be the same. So he's got things perfectly spaced. This is like crazy good AI. So his stuff is perfectly spaced that if I attack this, it's going to include this and this. Pretty much no matter what direction I attack it from. Can't tell. It might actually leave off this army if we attack from this tile. I think we're going to go early. And try and attack from this tile. See, that's... Alright. Let's just try it. Let's see what happens. Going one turn early, one unit early. No, come back! Alright, well... He got to choose the engagement. He didn't bring all 3 stacks of his army, but he did bring quite a big force, and now they're almost all healed up, which is unfortunate. We are going to fight this one manually. And of course he chose the smaller of the 2 armies. So what we want to do is start as far away from this fight as possible and give us a chance to let our reinforcements come in and actually participate in this fight. We could start further back. Alright. I want everybody to focus on their cavalry, because their cavalry is the most dangerous to our units at the moment. And I might actually have our hero go after their hero. Let's do that. Alright, he's casting spells. The way he positioned his initial army is going to give us a little bit of time to get our reinforcements in, which is definitely going to help. Ooh, that hurt. Alright, he's still alive at least. Yeah, this poor guy is toast. As long as he stands his ground though, he might slow up the rest of those guys. I kind of want this guy to move to that position. He's going to attack last. He's not going to get a chance to move where he wants. But if he does, I'd like him to move there. We need you guys to move off the reinforcement tiles. He's pinned, so he can't move off the reinforcement tile. Ouch, that was super big damage there. Alright, if we can get all of these guys fighting our Rumbler, we'll actually have a chance. The problem is we're going to get flanked by this guy. Oh, that was convenient. So he can actually tie that guy up. You can shoot at that guy. Move back and shoot there. Move back and shoot there. Alright, let's see what happens. This could be the turn that we start to turn things around, or it could be the turn that we lose. It will really depend on how effective our Rumbler ends up being in this fight. If he can survive long enough. Ah, almost enough damage, but not quite. That's good. Ugh. Alright, the Rumbler goes down. That's unfortunate. But we did soften him up enough to actually get some kills. Their damage is just so high. Alright, they're still alive. So we'll get one more action. You're gonna take that out. And everybody else is gonna focus on the weakest unit they can reach. I can move you away and shoot. Move you away and shoot. You're kind of stuck in the corner. Hopefully that kills that. Alright, cool. That one's dead. That frees up our reinforcement position. Unfortunately, these guys are probably dead. Damage output's just nowhere near as good as theirs. Alright, he survived another attack, but not another turn. Valiant effort by our cavalry. Yeah, our Rumbler went down about one turn too early. I think if we had gotten another turn out of him, we might have been able to turn this. I can't really move anywhere, so... And that thing's still alive? How ridiculous. Six damage. Yikes. Alright, we can move you guys here and maybe attack that. I don't think it really matters at this point. This is a lost cause, unfortunately. Oh, we managed to take another enemy down with us. If this unit can survive, but he's not going to. Not with a half-range Slayer. As I say, if that unit survives, our hero will still be alive with like 1 hit point. I think it was a valiant effort, but I think we miscalculated quite thoroughly at the offset of this turn. I'm a little curious why the rest of our units never came in, because it looked like we had some reinforcement spots available, and we didn't actually get them. Huh. Well, we still have our action point. Unfortunately. Maybe we can't? If we attack this... Let's see what happens. Well, that actually worked out better than I anticipated it working. So they have one little army left. Well, maybe it's not all curtains. If our other units had come in, but I think this actually worked out better for us. Our heroes level up, so that's good. So we have a couple options. I grabbed the experience earlier. We could move up this way and grab extra attack while being involved in sieges, which may be something that's happening quite frequently, and then directly into +1 range. We could also grab the accessory, but then it takes an extra turn to get to the range. So I'm going to go this way instead. Whoa, what are you doing? Ah, I didn't mean to click that way. Alright, we can still get here to siege their city. I'll have another ranger in 1 turn who can get over here. Alright, well, we'll play a couple more turns of this. If we can't take back this city here very soon, I think we're going to have to call it. But we might be able to. Okay, what I would really like for you is to declare war on somebody else. No? What if we give you, like, all the stuff? Yeah, we're just not gonna get your help quite yet, are we? Can you give me anything of value? That's actually of value. What about some dust? Alright. Give me dust and management sciences. Got a single unit over here. To retreat. We were not ready for that. Got a whole nother platoon. I just can't quite keep up with them, I don't think. Well, we got exotic alloys. So here's where we're at. We're in an awkward position because part of me wants to just call this game over. And I think we're probably in a position where that's likely the outcome. However, because we just finished this quest, and because we do have some technology and a stockpile of this, we actually have tier 3 weapons. We might be able to outfit our empire with tier 3 titanium bows and actually win some engagements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end the video now because I think we've been at it this long enough. Actually, I want to finish one more turn and get into our own territory. And then we're going to play one more set of turns next week and see if we can't use the exotic alloys to take back the territory we lost. I am also enjoying this very friendly interaction with another empire for once. I think if we can get enough influence and we can build enough friendship with this guy, we might be able to get him to help us in this war effort. If we can just claw back, like this region, and maybe even this one, because this is going to be difficult. We're going to have 2 garrisons to deal with, since those cities are so close together. But if we can take those, then we have a nice defensive position to hold. Purple has basically run out of room to expand. They have one more region up here that they're going to fight over with red. Red, unfortunately, will not attack them. This is the downside to the roving clans. The roving clans are not going to be aggressive with these guys. So they're basically going to be able to put all of their attention on us. Luckily or unluckily, however you want to look at it, we are in the same position where we basically can put all of our attention on them. They just got a little bit faster start than we did, especially with their military. That's really surprising on serious difficulty that they were able to mass that many armies and still expand to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories. Like, nobody else is on 5. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seems like our ally and us are the 2 weakest of all the potential. It looks like pink and blue are fighting over here, because I'm pretty sure this was pink earlier. Alright, well, let's try to finish one more turn, get into a safe spot. Safer spot, maybe. Retreat, retreat! Oh, where are you going? Wow. Oh. That is not what I wanted to have happen. Yeah, he's got ranged units now. Oh, yep. Just one mistake after another. I can't, I mean, it's going to take me, even with all of the industry, it's going to take me 5 turns just to rebuild a single 6 stack. He's already got an army down here. More than likely. Well, we're going to go ahead and call this one for today. I think I will try to play one more set of turns, but I don't think we'll get very far before we find that we're just completely overrun. So that's going to be it for today. If you do have any comments on all of my misplays, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I have definitely goofed this game up, but we will try again. The AI on the serious difficulty with the patch feels pretty difficult. I think I may try dropping it down a tier just to see how that feels, but this feels pretty much on the edge of what I was experiencing playing on the higher difficulties before. I think this feels a little bit like impossible at the moment, and I'm not sure if that's just because the AI is playing smarter or if there's some other fine-tuning that the Endless Legend community patch does, but it sure seemed like they were awful efficient, which I guess is the point of better AI, right? So that's it for today. This has been the Nose Plays, and you guys all have a great day.